there we go. The microphone is on. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. And you are live and on the air, Dr. Fox. Welcome. Thank you, Piggy. And awesome to be here. And I hope everyone else is doing well. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022. And actually Wednesday in some places for those people in the future. And welcome to all of you. And yep, Wednesday for me. Right, Piggy? No worries. We got that sorted. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board. Gonna start out with saying hello to our moderators. Arizona Snowman, who we haven't seen him there. But anyway, hopefully he'll be in the background. Also, welcome to Piggy, who is here, and very much so there, or here, or there, over there in the future. She was there in the hospital in the morning, which is there or here in the past, so Wednesday. Oh, hang on, that'd be Tuesday. Oh boy, all confusing. Anyway, I'm here where? You're over there, not here. That's okay. Anyway, a little bit of fun, so no worries. Thanks, Piggy, for being here. CMD Boy just zipped to the store. We did see 24/7 Live, AZ Skies. Gary is in there. Welcome, Gary. And Eek, help me, I'm lost. Piggy, the sty is down the hallway and to your left. No? Or is that the right? The one with the little puppy in it. Hopefully you can find it. There should be two hounds in there, a little one and a big one. Anyway, only a dressing changed, that's all. Okay, so at least they got your dressing changed there, Piggy. All good. Anyway, other wonderful moderators that could be in the background, Joseph Fields, and also Lucas Snow, you never know, and we'll see what happens. It's under the pillow. Uh-oh, what's under the pillow? Oh, the little puppy is under the pillow? You gotta be kidding me. And it's a little sneaky guy. Anyway, let's get at saying hello to people in here. And first person in today was Sasha. So Sasha gets the cookies. Way to go, Sasha. And let's get you some cookies there. There we go. So that gets that out of the way. And then we'll say welcome to everyone. And we'll start out with, right at the bottom of the list, we'll start out with Sue and Sophie. Welcome. And we also see Philomena is here. Welcome. Hermione and Fluffy are also here. And Fluffy is nice and dry today. Linda Schoof, Piggy eating your crayons. Watch out. Uh-oh. Chuckster is in the house today. Welcome back. Good to see you. Of course, we got Sasha already. King Colin Deadman also in the house. Paul Williams is here. Henry Nelson, I think I might have got you already. And going up a little bit more, looking for other wonderful names. And Paul Williams, I think I said that. Peter Greenlees and Kevin Williams. Oh, there. Do we have a, what was it? Awaka Williams or something in here? Anyway, no. Wagon of Williams. That's what it was. Wacky Wagon of Williams. 3 of them, maybe. We'll see. Grandma B is also in the house. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. And going up a little bit more, looking for others. We got Peter, we got Grandma B, we got all these other ones. William Bull is back. Welcome, William. Good to have you on board. And Peter Greenlee's also here. Good to have you here. Going up a little more, looking for more wonderful names. We got Linda. Linda, happy birthday. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but happy birthday to you. Tom Dice also in here as well. At least I think it's your birthday. We got somebody scheduled for a birthday today. You might as well take it. So anyway, let's see who else we've got as I'm scrolling up frantically looking for other names and talking at the same time. It's like trying to rub your head and your tummy, or pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time. Not so easy at times. Alba Girl also in the channel. Welcome, or in the stream. And let's see, who else we got? Scrolling up more and more and more, looking for other wonderful names. A lot of people chatting, which is really what we want. And that is always good to see. Everybody is doing their thing. Bo is in here. Welcome, Bo. Glad to have you on board again. And who else we got in here? I'm up as high as I can go on the list, so that's it. We'll have to catch you on the bottom if I missed you. I got Philomena, sorry. Let's see, did I miss anyone else down here? Linda, we got you. Piggy, thank you for that wonderful super chat to start things off. Piggy, and a £2 super chat. Thank you very kindly. And that says from the little monster under my pillow. The monster under your pillow? You mean that one with the those razor teeth? I recall seeing them. Mars 2028 is also here. Welcome, Mars. And we got Chuckster already. I think we're just about there on all of you for now. Anyway, if I did not say your name, I'm not trying to be offensive in any way, shape, or form. I sometimes miss names going through the list, and I do apologize. I see Sharon Stewart is all here as well, and hi Doc and all clicked in as number 31. Happy birthday, Adelinda. Well, if it's Linda's birthday, then we should give her like a birthday cake or something, right? Hang on, I gotta stop my canned lava here because that can is awful small. Oh, darn it, I didn't want to go back. I wanted it to stay where it was. Oh, I see. It's, it says rewind. Why does it do that? Remember playback position. There we go. I got that fixed now. But anyway, let's go look at this. What do I got here? And we'll start the show outright. There we go. That looks pretty, I think, sort of, kind of. And we even have kind of interesting music. There, birthday music for you. Happy birthday, Linda. Happy 29th birthday. Again. Oh, Piggy, happy birthday, Linda, from Lena and Thistle. Okay. Thank you, Piggy. We'll pass that along. And thanks for putting it in a wonderful super chat like that. That's awesome. Robert? Oh boy. Well, we got lots of people getting older. I hope I got your age right, Linda. I mean, 29, that's what I heard it was. I just hope it was correct. I wouldn't want to make a mistake. 29 and holding maybe, or something like that. I know that's my age. I'm never going to get older. And the kid in me is always going to be there. So anyway, we got that cake there saying, wishing you a day which is as special as you are. So hopefully you are having, obviously holding at that, Dr. Fox. There you go. Well, you don't look a day over 29, Linda. There you go. Oh. That's probably the best thing to do. Imagine get some of the wonderful cake. Yep, that would be nice. Actually, that cake does look pretty darn good. There's 2 different ones there, so, you know, lots for everyone. And that is interesting. Gary says birthdays confuse me, which should be celebrating the mom on this day. All we did was show up. You got a point there, Gary, but you know, it is what it is. And there we go. And I'm not going to sing today, so you don't have to worry. There, that's it. So happy birthday to Linda, and we really do enjoy having you on board. You are a very kind and special person for us here, so stay smiling. And wow, 2 cakes, I'll be stuffed. Yeah, just try not to eat them too quickly. I'm sure we'll be able to help you out with the cake. So anyway, that's really good news, and happy birthday to you again, Linda. And let's get at the show here. You can freeze the cake. Yep, we can. Let's get at this. I'm going to freeze the screens here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that banner for right now. I got a bunch of banners. Hang on. Oh, no, we don't want that up there. Let's take this. No, where are we here? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, things have moved around again on me. We got rid of that one, and we want to get rid of this. Whoa, not that one. We need that one. Where is my other one here? I'm missing my banner. Somehow, some way, I've not figured that out. There we go. And now we got to get rid of that archived footage. We'll try that too. So, okay, got things rolling here now. So let's actually have a look at Iceland itself, if I still have it working. And where the heck did it go? It should be right about there. I see it. So, first question that I've got is, hey, what's shaking in Iceland? I know, I'm being funny. And yeah, Iceland is having a little bit of a shaking problem today. And we'll get right into that real quick. Anyway, we can see the wonderful beacon zipping by, and it looks foggy, maybe a little bit of rain happening there right now. But if we go back a bunch of hours, and we'll use the 10-hour mark today to go back and kind of see what the weather was like. So Reykjavik itself was not bad. Looked like they had a lovely day, and can't say too much more. We do see the regional airport here, as well as downtown is off on the side, and all that nice stuff. Looking at the other one, that is kind of the view to the north. From the Perlin Center. Both shots are from the Perlin Center, by the way. And this one here should be about like that. So you notice the shadows are quite long. The sun is low on the horizon. That's because of the time of year, of course. And we can see a little bit of snow on top the mountains back there. And not that much, though, so still doing okay there. And let's put that back on live, so we have it there, and this one too. And we're going to go to our next one, and we of course have to go back about 10 hours to be able to see anything there. And there it is. And of course you see the ice hills in the distance here. That is Katla. Katla is hiding over here. Actually, it's just about in that area. And the reason we talk about Katla today is because we have a bunch of shaking going on. So before we get into that shaking, we don't know if there is an actual eruption. We don't see one in the live stream because, of course, one, the clouds, and number two, we're not seeing anything pop up. And let's see if we can get a little bit of a better picture here with a little bit of sunshine in it. I know that's going to be asking for a lot, but I try. Let's see there. No, that's got more rain in it. But it does show the ice field a little bit more over on the right-hand side here. Anyway, speaking of Katla, we'll go right over to the earthquake map, and we won't mince around or whatever you want to call it, and we'll get right at things here. So there we are. And actually, it's pretty obvious when you're looking at things here. We have a 4.38 indicated here. We have a 3.8 indicated. We have a 3.51 indicated. That is all on top of Katla. And that is very, very interesting. And when we zoom in a little bit, just so you can kind of get a better idea, Katla is right here, and these are on the northern side of the center of the caldera. This line here roughly represents the actual caldera. Okay, and I know some of you might be going, huh? It's that big? And yes, it is that big. Let us just look at these quakes here, then we'll pop into a couple other things. Wow, Sharon Stewart threw in a 5 membership gift pack, and I see all of them went. Cookster Littlefield got one. Birdie Nunn got one. Linda Arlington got one. And Serotonin got one. And Dylan V. Deason got one as well. Welcome to Dylan. I don't believe I've seen you in there before, but obviously you have to be subscribed. So there you go, and that is awesome. Let me get that written down before I forget to do that. Sharon and Stewart. Get it on there. EWART. There we go. Gifted 5. Thank you very kindly, Sharon. That is awesome of you, and it is really cool. Anyway, so pardon me. Let's take a look at these quakes. This big one here from 1955 was the time. 4.38 was the magnitude, and the depth was 135 meters. And that is very interesting. And when we go take a look at that 3.8, it was from 2007, and that was from 42 meters down. When we look at the 3.5, it was from 2011, and that is 3.51 in magnitude from 38 meters down. And let's take a look at this 2.86, 135 meters down. 1956 was the time on that one. This other 2.48, 42 meters down from 2009. Then we have another 2.49, 44 meters down from 2010. This is an older one. This is actually from 1:41 a.m. and 2.05, 135 meters down for him. Then a small 0.4, 1.1 clicks down from 2015. And we have a 1.3 over here, 1.1 kilometer down from 2019 as well. So seeing all those and being very close to the surface, I think we may end up seeing some action here. Now, one of the big things that we have to talk about first off is we know there's anywhere from, what is it, from probably 50 to, hey, Yona is there, shallow quakes, yep, they're very, very shallow. And we know for a fact that the ice layers on Katla are anywhere from somewhere around 50 meters in some places to about 700 meters thick. So there is a lot of ice sitting on top of a lot of the areas in that caldera. And of course, me talking about the caldera isn't going to do as well as pictures do, so I'm going to take you back here for a second to the other screen, and we will talk about these a little bit. Now, I got it from an expert that back in 1918 is when this had its pretty large eruption, and we will talk about other eruptions it has had, but the one from 1918, Irish monk was there and took this photograph back in the day. So this one was from 1918. At least I think it was Irish monk that was there and took it. They did find a sandal there. So this is from back then, okay? And that was the largest eruption they had seen there in a while. Now, basically, this volcano, from going through past history, it has what's considered a large eruption, similar to the one that we see up there on the screen. It has one like that from every 20 to about 90 years, and that is kind of the time frames. The last eruption, of course, for Katla was on July 9th. It was July 8th, July 9th, 2011. And of course, that was what we refer to as a subglacial eruption. So it stayed under the ice, but it did melt a lot of ice. And of course, with all that ice melting, creates water, and there were floods, and there were people affected from that particular incident from that time onward for a couple of months even afterwards. So that was July 19th, 2011. There were also previous eruptions in 1999, 1955, and then of course 1918, which is this particular one that we're looking at right now. So is it possible that Katla is going to erupt today, or is already erupting? The premise on that is yes, it's very possible, considering how shallow these quakes are and what we're seeing. Now, as far as magma chambers and things like that, I don't know what's actually going on underneath it. But let's take a look at a couple of other pictures here. So this one will kind of give you a little bit more of an idea where some of those eruptions were. And there is the outline, the black outline with the black arrow there. That is actually the caldera. That's the caldera for Katla. So it's not a small caldera. This thing is huge. So if this thing really decided to shoot off, not have eruption, since, yep, that's what we were just looking at, Yona. And anyway, there you can see the past eruptions, the both subglacial and full-born eruptions that were recorded in a recent history there. So we got the one from 1999. We know the one from 2011 And of course, then we go back 1955. You can see on there, 1823 is also one of the ones that was on there, and then 1755 also. Where is this? This is in Iceland. This is Katla volcano in Iceland, Jane. Anyway, that is what we've got going on there. So Katla is buried under the ice, and that is the beauty of this whole thing. So I noticed more water just in the foreground over the last couple of days. And actually, yeah, if we hide that picture for a second, you take a look at that picture, and if you recall and go back a couple of streams, you see this area here. This wasn't wet before. There was a lot more water here now than we were seeing before. Yes, there were lakes, but not flooded out like this. So this is, in my opinion, an increase in water level as well. Anyway, getting back to this shot, so that is what we were seeing there, and that is Katla, just so you guys kind of have an idea. And if we get rid of that picture and use this other one, this will show you a little bit more, and granted it is an older shot. This was a rough estimate of where the magma chamber underneath Katla is. And if you take a look at the size of that, this was from a previous eruption, and this is where they did the thermal heat scan from the satellite, and that's kind of what they determined. And this is not a current picture though, so it's huge, is right, Piggy. It is, and that is tremendously large. So for it to be able to have the power to be able to erupt, that is something that we have to look at and consider. Katla is, of course, one of the largest volcanoes there in Iceland. It is 1,512 meters tall, or 4,961 feet. That is not counting the ice cap. Okay, the ice cap, and again, varies from 50 to 700 feet in thickness, and that is a lot of ice. Anyway, that's kind of the interesting stuff about it. So, like I say, the last eruption that it did actually have was relatively small, was relatively a subglacial eruption, and that was July 9th of 2011. So very, very cool. Any volcanism associated with a 5 something earthquake in Indonesia. We've got a bunch of earthquakes there. Not sure. We're not in Indonesia right now, though. We're looking at Iceland, so let's focus on this. Anyway, that is what we are seeing, and that is kind of where we're at right now. It's interesting that, the size of that possibility of the magma chamber is as big as it is, and that was not something I was expecting. And if that is true to what it is now, I think they may end up having a little bit of trouble. So we'll see what we've got going on. Anyway, I'll take that picture back off of there. Let's pop over to the harmonic tremor charts, and we'll go through that very, very quickly. And anyway, let me get on the right screen, and there we go. Okay, this one we're starting at Asja today, so we do see some of the bigger spikes in here, and that is telling us that we've had some earthquakes in that area as well. Let's scroll down and we'll check on Eruption, and that is of course our most favorite one, and we do enjoy it. Okay, so there it is, blank, 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 and dead. Another straight line. It should be beyond that. You can see what we've got here. Even if I refresh that, that's even further now, and right to the end of the day. So we know for a fact that that chart is not working, and somebody went and kicked it and fixed it, and nope, no data. So let's take a look at the Grindavik one, and hopefully that will tell us something. But on the way up to Grindavik, we're going to take a look at the Grimsey one as well. We see a lot of them spiking up. So we've had some activity in that area as well from the looks of things. Maybe not right at Grimsey, but very close and to the north of it. Let's take a look at Grindavik, and there we go. And the ones that we see in Grindavik, we've got a couple of spikes there as well, but most of that is a downward trend, so that's telling us that we are likely not going to see anything on our wonderful area there on the Reykjanes Peninsula today. And sliding down a little bit more, we are going to the one we suspect is Herdebrede. And there we see a massive spikes on there, and that is to be expected because it is a lot closer to Katla, and some of those big ones would have registered there as well. So that's kind of what we've got on our charts today. I'm going to put this one back on Fragerdahlfjall, even though it's broken, just so I know where the darn thing is, and I'll leave it there. Let's get over to the earthquakes, and of course we already hang on, what did I do? Click the wrong spot. There we go. Click on this one. We're going to zoom out, and we'll actually start with the earthquakes down here on the Reykjanes Peninsula. For those who aren't familiar with the area, this over here is Reykjavik, the capital city. And of course, here we have Keflavik Airport, Keflavik, Yardvik, Reykjanesbær. And if we slide over a bit, a little too far there, we want to be right about here. We see the Blue Lagoon and the parking lot. And then, of course, on the other side here is the power plant. So zooming back out and sliding down a bit, there's Grindavik down here. Anyway, let's have a look at these. They're small, 0.2, 3.1 kilometers down from 2145. Then we have one in a happy place, and of course this is Ragnar and Siggy Fisher right there. And of course this is in our Fragerdahlfjall area, and this is a 0.88, 6 kilometers down, 7:43 a.m. And nice to see a quake in there, something happening. One quake is better than nothing. Break time, yep, okay, I will take a look at that. We'll just get this other one here, and then we'll go for a break. Anyway, 0.2, 8.1 kilometers down, and 1511 for that guy. That's on way past Krusevik, and the Krusevik is way over here. Yeah, this is kind of way out. I don't know. I don't think that's going to matter much right there. Anyway, we'll go through. We already went through these guys, so we'll go through the rest of what's happening there. And here's your other little mess up top. We're going to get through those as well. So don't go away, you guys. I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to put you back on some canned lava, and hopefully we can find the right can that we were using, and hopefully it'll work. How big is this one? This one is 2 hours. Let me hit it and see what happens. And I hit play, and we got to turn it on. We have to bring it up there, and now it'll play. Maybe? No? Why is it not playing? 2 hours of lava. We should be able to see that. Oh, I didn't bring it up far enough. There we go. Now you can see it. Okay, so archive footage, and we'll let you watch that during the break. I'm going to go take about 5 or 6 minutes, and for all those good people, please enjoy yourself, play nice in the lava, and yeah, Peter, 5 emojis, buddy, not so many. Anyway, yeah, otherwise Piggy's gonna give you a snout bopping. You gotta watch out for that. Anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please help us out. Of course, our target is to try to get over that 100 mark. And of course, if you're new and sitting on the outsides wanting to get into the chat and you're not subscribed yet, just pop that subscribe button. And it only takes about a minute, and then you can get in there and chat with these wonderful people. And just be aware of Piggy. She polishes her snout, and that's usually trouble. So all good, you guys. She really doesn't bite much. Okay, and if that should be good. I'm gonna go take that break. Don't go away. I'll be back. we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. And I'm your host, DrFox2000. And you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And thank you for the welcome backs from Piggy saying, welcome back to our lovely host, Dr. Fox tries to behave. Piggy, be nice. Welcome, Leo, and thank you, and Kevin Haynes, thanks, Hermione, and Paul, and Sue, and Mars 2028, and Sasha, welcome back, terrific, and Dr. Fox, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, awesome, and I see C&D Boy made it back from the a quick run to the store. You should have drove. You would have been faster. But for those who need to know, we got two bunnies eating right now. Limpy in the dispenser, and I'm not sure if that is Curly or LB in the, I think it's LB in the dome right now, for those who need to know. Anyway, we're going to leave our canned lava be here for a few minutes. I'm actually going to pause that, and there we go. I love being able to freeze a volcano in mid-eruption. That is always cool. And yeah, Sasha, we have a special icon or emoji for that, and that is the double whammy like that. So that's why I made them. That way you don't have to put two wabbits. You can have two and just in one shot. Anyway, let's get back at the earthquakes and take a look at what else is happening in Iceland, since that is where we left off before the break. So looking at Iceland there, we don't see any new ones that popped in the meantime down here at Katla. Unless we see some here. We got a 1.6 that happened a while back already. And let's see, yeah, not sure, some of those. Anyway, let's take a look up at the top here. So, of course, for those people who need to know, Grimsey is right here. And we've had those previous swarms in this area and this area, but much, much heavier. And now we've got a swarm happening up here. And there are a lot of quakes involved, some of them fair size. And let's start out with these guys over on this side. 10 kilometers down for this 2.14 from 6:04 a.m. Then we got 2:04 a.m. We had a 2.16, and that was 35 meters above the ground, and or below the ground, I should say, and that is not sea level, that's below ground from what I understand. Anyway, let's look at this one here, 3.1, and that is 23.2 kilometers down, and 9 a.m. for him. And this 2.91, 10 clicks down from 8:13, and then we've got a 1.98, 135 meters down. And that is from 2:08 this morning. And then we'll grab some of these other ones. 3.2, 1.1 kilometers down, 9 a.m. for him. This 3.07, 10 kilometers down from 4:21 a.m. And the next one on the list, 2.28, 10 kilometers down, 5:07. And then we have from 5:08, 2.37, 10 kilometers down as well. Then this guy here, 2.78, 135 meters down, and 4:04 a.m. Then we have that guy, 2.53, again, 135 meters down, 2:11 a.m. And this guy down here from 9:08 a.m. 2.88, and that is only 47 meters down below the actual water level, or sorry, below the ground level on the ocean floor. So this one is 10 kilometers down, 1.73, and that is from 4:48 a.m. And that gives you those ones out there. So let's take a look around Grimsey and see what these guys are at. 1.7, 5.4 kilometers down, 1330 was the time, or 1:30 p.m. This one is from 2351, brand new, so 1.5, 10.9 kilometers down for that one. This one from 2321, 1.4 kilometers, sorry, 1.4 in magnitude, 9.5 kilometers down for him. Sliding down a bit more, we see another batch or cluster or swarm. Anyway, we're going to take a few peaks here. 1.9, 8 kilometers down, 2136 for him. This 1.5, 5.2 clicks down, 1723. We also have this guy here, 1.4, 3.1 kilometers down, 1150, and then we have this one here, 1910, and that is 1.3, 5.2 kilometers down, and 1.5, 5.2 clicks down, 8:30 this morning, and there's a few more in here, but you know, we're not going to hit every one of them. 10 kilometers down roughly on this 1.48 at 3:05 a.m. for that one. So that's kind of what we've got going on there in the northern portions of Iceland, and it kind of makes you wonder what the heck, you know, we've got activity all over the place. Now the funny part is we still only have 66 quakes for the duration of the 24 hours. So we're not seeing, the thing that we're not seeing here down at Katla is the small quakes, the tremors that go along with an eruption. We're not seeing those. So I don't know if I want to call this an eruption. It sounds like it's got a bunch of explosions happening, but no eruption. Anyway, let's take a look out at Asja and Herdebrede right in here. We'll see what we've got over here. 1.6, 3.5 kilometers down, 2:18 a.m. 0.2, 5.2 clicks down, 15:31, and a 0.3, 5.2 kilometers down, 16:28 for him. And there's the Asja Lake. That's the actual caldera, and that's where we're at. So don't see anything popping there. This would be a Herdebrede in here, and we don't see anything north of Herdebrede today, which is a little odd. Normally we would, but it's calming down. We do see these here this is actually from just after, this is very fresh, just after their midnight hour, so 22:57 was the time on this 1.1, 12.3 kilometers down. This one 1.2, 1.1 kilometer down from a 1904. Then we've got 0.6, 5.3 kilometers down, and that was from a 1358. And then a 1.1, 2 kilometers down from 22 minutes after midnight, their midnight, which is just 48 minutes ago. So that'll be that for those guys. Sliding down a little bit further, we have a 1.0 here at Bardabunga, 1.1 kilometers down from 1422. Then we've got 1.06 out here, 11.2 kilometers down from 1032. There we go. 1624, we had a 0.4, 4.5 kilometers down. That's kind of halfway in between Grimsvatn and Bardabunga for that guy. We did have another little tiny swarm over here, and we'll just grab a couple of these just to see. 2.2, 1 kilometer down, and that is from 2321, and then this one from 1939, 1.7, 2.3 kilometers down. Then we've got a little 0.6, 1 click down from 2004, 0 down there. There's another 0.6 here, and a couple of little 0.4s, 5.3 clicks down, 1957 for that. 1941 for that one, 5.3 clicks down, that 0.6, 5.2 clicks down from 1941 as well. So that kind of gives you the scoop on what we're seeing there in Iceland. Really nothing other than a bunch of big quakes happening at the close to the surface area here at Katla. So we're definitely going to be keeping. Could it be steam explosions that are shaking Katla? Yes, Mars 2028. That is what I'm assuming is happening. That we are getting some subglacial explosions underneath there, and that is what's causing the larger quakes. Now, one of the things that I did read about in the history from the 2011 eruption at Katla, which of course was subglacial as well, that area, the entire area of a glacier sunk down a tremendous amount of distance, and I didn't write that down, but it really dropped it by a whole bunch. So that is something that could be happening again, or if it is subglacial and if there's just too much ice there, we will see some flooding in the area, and that is, I think, one of the dangers that they really face there. The ejecta, if it did actually blow, of course, ash all over the place would be a big concern because this thing is huge. But the other one for the local area would be to watch out for flooding, and they could have flash floods very easily if there is in fact subglacial explosions happening, magma underneath there heating things up, melting the water, and we'll likely see an increase in water flow out of the rivers that are going into the ocean from there. So it may even create more flooded areas as what we were looking at earlier here. So very interesting to see that. Anyway, we'll leave Iceland be for right now. We do have a bunch of other things to go through, so let's carry on and head over to Sicily. And we will look at Sicily. Why is Sicily so dark? Sicily is not supposed to be so dark. Sicily is supposed to be friendly and smiling. There it is. And it is 1:52 a.m. there right now in Sicily, and a beautiful view of Mount Etna, right? Now let's back that up a bunch, going back about 9 hours ago, and we see what Sicily was looking like. There is at 16:43, lots of snow on Mount Etna, some clouds over on top of it again. And those clouds could possibly harbor more snow. We'll see what happens. And I did make a time lapse from this morning as I tried. Now, one of the things you may notice in the foreground here is some of the trees moving a little bit. It's actually calmed down a whole bunch. This morning it was windier than all get out there. You really seen these trees whipping. But I'll throw on the time lapse, and by the way, just before I start it, look at that nice lenticular cloud sitting right on top of Mount Etna. Mount Etna had a hat, and that trying to keep that hat for the most part. But let's do this, and we'll let it run. So there's a lenticular cloud moving along and keeping its distance. And you see the trees shaking like crazy because it was windy. And 5-minute warning, thank you, Piggy. And yeah, that was actually pretty cool to see the way that cloud just kind of hung on top of Mount Etna. And then it finally got pushed off of there. But very cool. I guess it's just the way it's shaped, right? But you see those trees in the foreground just whipping back and forth like crazy at the high speeds here. Looks like they're vibrating from an earthquake, but they're not. That's the wind, and that was pretty scary. So, okay, Dr. Fox, I was Madrid yesterday, and was very windy there too. Okay, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. It is that time of the year, and things do happen. And anyway, that is kind of what I found, and I figured I'd record for you guys. You can see even the camera was shaking, and those cameras are mounted fairly sturdily there. And to see the camera go back and forth, you kind of almost think that you're somewhere else, like Indonesia or something. But anyway, that was it, and that's kind of what we've got going on there. So hope you guys like that time lapse, and that is really kind of cool. Thank you for taking the time, the Tom to do it, to do aught. No worries, Piggy. I understand. Fingers and small phone and possibly some interference from puppies. Anyway, thank you for that. Puppy maneuver. Yep. No worries. No worries. Anyway, let's carry on with the other ones real quick. We'll head over to the Azores, and we want to take a look at that real quick as well. Now, the Azores did not have that much going on there, but we do want to show it, and we will get over there. Let's do that. Okay, so the harbor right down here, the town site, and of course there's a strait in between here, and Pico Island is on the other side. If we turn that picture on, that's what it looks like during the daytime, but that wasn't from today. That was a previous file picture, just so you could see it. Anyway, you can see Mount Pico, or Pico Volcano over there, Mount Montana as they call it, and of course Pico Island across the water. And we are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. Next shot, of course, is our little cove here, where we watch for white water to see how rough the ocean is. And it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. Not bad at all for people who need to know what it looks like during the day. That's usually what a calm ocean would look like there. And when you see the big amount of white water splashing in here and along the side of the docks and stuff like that, that's when you know it is a little on the rough side. You don't want to be there. Going over and taking a look, and we are not seeing, I'm going to refresh this just to make sure, we are not seeing a heck of a lot of activity. There we go. 1.5 at 22:15 on São Jorge is the only quake that we've seen there, and that is right on the island. Of course, this particular map only deals with São Jorge, so we use the other map, and we will refresh that one and take a look at it and see what else we can find, if there are any other ones in that area. And on this map, they don't show the other quakes. There is one on the mid-Atlantic ridge up a little bit, and there's another one down here a little bit. So right there in the middle is the Azores, and there's of course Pico Island and São Jorge here, and Terceira over there. Anyway, let's just peek at that one 2 hours ago, 2 hours 44 minutes ago, 1.5, and that is right where it is. So nothing too serious happening there. We do see it there, considered to be a surface quake, so very close to the surface, nothing more to worry about there. And we will leave that be. I should have actually done that. There we go. That looks bigger. But we're going to put it back onto this so I can find it later on in life. And let's leave it like that. It's easier for me to find. A Wonky Donkey finally says hi to me. Did you not see me put it up that wonderful poster for you earlier? Anyway, you guys, it is a break time, so I'm going to put you on the, there it is. There it is. Since he didn't say hi to me earlier, he's a target today. A Wonky Donkey, Trevor, run, run. Anyway. I see DJ Puff the Third also popped in, and welcome. Glad to have you on board, and also I'm glad to have you here, Wonky Donkey. Appreciate it, Trevor. Did I miss anyone else sneaking in? And I'm just going to check real quick. We got Kevin Williams earlier. Yep, Mars 2028. We got, and I think Leo. We got Hi ho, off to work I go, and Leo is gone to work. Good night, Leo, or good day to you, and stay safe at work. And okay, looking to see, get my lava moving. There, got that going. And we'll get the music in a second. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. We're trying to get over that 100 mark, of course. And then also, if you're new and you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to go take a break. I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. And we got more to come. Bacon seeds after the break. Don't go away. The bacon seeds will miss you if you go away. I'll be back. microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I see Linda made it back in. Welcome back, birthday girl. And happy birthday, Linda. And thank you for the welcome backs from Mars 2028 and Sue Hayes and Linda Schoof going oink. And of course, we got Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you, DrFox2000. All good. Thanks, Paul and Sasha, and that's good for now. We'll carry on with all our other wonderful stuff. I think we mentioned that we would have bacon seeds. So, yeah, we're going to try that. Let's see, what's going on here? I'm trying to turn off the canned lava. Freeze! Oh, look at that. I did it. Perfect. Got it while it's just gushing up there, and that is awesome. Thank you, Philomena, and DJ as well, and Sasha we got, Paul we got. Okay, cool. Magic powers, yep, it's that stuff I got from Star Trek. Anyway, let's go over to the bacon seeds. And we all know from yesterday that this was our last funny pig cartoon. And of course, for those who don't quite understand that, that used to be a real pig. And of course, the pig doctor says, he's cured. And that's not exactly what they wanted. CVET69, welcome, and dropping in for a look-see. You are welcome to drop in, CVET. And there we go, and that is our last one from yesterday. First one from today is this one. And these little snout poppers got pink snouts, black faces with pink snouts. Are really cool looking little piglets. And that is awesome. So... awesome, yeah. Con. No, I can't do William Shatner for some reason. Here's another wonderful bacon seed, and this one has a fair-sized belly to it as well. So looking pretty good. And the next one on our list, that's a nice pig house, by the way. They did a good job on building that. Looks really sturdy. They here's our next one, and of course that is three little pigs, and of course they must be some kind of special kind of pig to have those pink snouts and black faces with the white marks on top. All cool, and look at how fat they are. They are porkers. They definitely have a little bit of belly on them. No big bad wolf. No, not with these three little pigs. Droopy bellies. Yep, they're all fulled up, and they're doing well. They all seem to be smiling too, which is really cool. Next, bacon seed is some more with colored faces, except for these ones where they're digging for truffles. And that is pretty cool, and we love that. Awesome stuff. And next one on our list, piggyback. Yep, that is about what I was gonna figure, but I didn't want to say anything. But good that you did, Sasha. Tailgate. Yep. Yeah. Here's a couple that are really having a hard day. And after all that playing, they ended up falling asleep on top of Mama, and that is pretty awesome. These are very young ones, and yeah, these are little tiny bacon seeds, you guys, and that is pretty cool. And let's get to our next one, and that is this one. And if you are not smiling, you will be. Look at that pig's face. Brush your teeth and smile. You gotta have a good morning when you see this pig. That is absolutely awesome. And I don't know, you know, how they get them to smile, but a pig grin with a toothbrush in his mouth. That is, I got a brush of those chompers. Yep, still going, and there we go, Piggy, and glad that you're there with us. Next one is this one, and it says good morning. Oops, looks like we need another coffee. And these two drank all the coffee in the cup. Holy Batman! No, Dr. Fox, we got a quake. Piggy quake. We'll take a look in a second. Let's go to the last bacon seed here. And the same in every way that matters. Yep. So you have 2 dogs or 2 pigs here, and that is pretty awesome, and we like it. And there you go, Sharon Stewart. You got the right one, the proper emoji. So very, very cool. Anyway, I'm curious what kind of quake Piggy ended up getting. So let's get to the quake map real quick and see what we can do and find out and see what was happening. And holy mackerel, Turkey had a big quake over here, 6.0 in western Turkey, and that is 2 kilometers down, happened at 108. So a while ago. So that is the one that just affected Piggy. And she felt that. She is on the island of Kos, which is down here. And let's make this full screen, you guys, and that'll be better. So Piggy is on the island of Kos right there. And that quake happened right here. And that is 6.0, a fair-sized quake. And you can see the distance to Kos is not that great, but you know, that's a big quake. You're going to feel that. So, yep, doesn't surprise me that that is happening. And I figured this area, of course, here, this is the Anatolian microplate, and that is pushing up against the Aegean microplate. And of course, the top end of this, it actually moves in kind of an arc and goes downward, pushing against the plate. The top moves about 40 millimeters a year. The bottom only about 20 millimeters a year. And that is the big difference. So the top here is pushing a lot of material really quick. So glad that it stopped, Piggy, and hopefully you won't get too many more. But if that one is there, I'm sure there's going to be some more little ones in this area here, relatively close to you. So you may have a kind of a rough night, and sorry to tell you that. So there it is, felt 4 point, or they're already downgraded it by a little bit, but 5.9 in western Turkey 8 minutes ago, according to this. But that hasn't, we weren't refreshed. Anyway, let's see, did it show up on this map? And no, of course, why would it show up on the USGS map, right? That is a sizable quake, and it would have been right there. And the USGS has not registered it as of yet. I'll leave that be. Let's go over and hope when one bigger was bigger, when a bigger, yes. Oh, you're referring to someone. It's stopped now. Not showing USGS list. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying, Sue. And yeah, USGS doesn't always show all of them, so that is kind of a downfall on that. Anyway, I'm trying to find Popo Cathay Pedal. It is dark there, and there it is on the screen. And let's back up. Why is it so dark? They have clouds in there, so even if we go back just a little bit, and we do see some sky and some clouds, and that of course it's about 7:17 in the evening there right now. So that is not a surprise that we can't see it, but going back a little bit during the day, we did have it shooting in and out of the clouds for the most part, but the earlier portion of the day was not bad. So about 10 hours ago we could actually see it. There was some pluming going on, and not a heck of a lot of stuff coming out, but at least none that I really noticed. And let's see if we can get to that one. That's almost 11 hours ago. There it is coming out, and that started off, and that lasted a little while, probably about an hour worth of off-gassing coming out of there. And again, as you see, it is fairly slow, so that is what we've got. Yoo-hoo, no buffering. Philomena, don't jinx it. Anyway, that is not buffering. Don't worry, that's me pushing this forward. So if you're seeing the whiz wheel, don't worry. If I push the button too fast, it'll start to whiz wheel on us. But anyway, that is kind of what we were seeing earlier. And if we back up even more, there we can get into the golden times of the morning. And that was right about here. I thought that looked kind of neat color-wise. And we can see the volcano itself is still in the dark, but the plume above it is being lit up, and it looks like a I don't think it's a mushroom, but an orange tree maybe. That would be pretty cool. And that's kind of what it looked like. DJ, why are you putting the whiz wheel up? Are you buffering? Get a better connection. Anyway, I've been monitoring my output here. We're solid right now, so there should not be any buffering. Anyway, that is kind of what Popocatépetl was doing. If we go back to the other one, and that is in the shade. Well, that is at almost live. That is live. This is live. So from the distance shot, we can see that the cloud is localized right at the volcano, and hopefully that'll move out of the way. We do see some stars in the background here, and that is pretty awesome. 1920 is the time there. Next one on our list, of course, is, oh, hang on, what do we got going across here? A UFO. I see it. It's moving. And, yep, always cool to see that. And of course at dusk and dawn, or just when it gets dark or it gets light, or just before it gets light, that's when you see the most satellites. So that could be what we're seeing there. Or it could be an alien, who knows. Anyway, moving on, this is a Fuego. Fuego down in Guatemala continues to mesmerize us with its wonder and beauty of the eruptions that it puts out. And this, of course, is back about 12 minutes ago. And as it was sitting in the clouds, it just happened to pierce through and give us a little bit of a sprinkle. And there you go. So Fuego definitely erupting, and doing a wonderful job at what it normally does. And ooh, that's one after another. So that's pretty cool. Like a second burst, and we really like it. 2017 on costs, 7 magnitude 7. Wow, that is a big piggy. That is really big. Hopefully you won't have any of those. 6 is bad enough over in western Turkey, and that is what we got. Anyway, pardon me. Fuego continuing to do what it does, and that volcano, of course, is just, day in, day out doing exactly what we're seeing there. For the most part, though, I was trying to find stuff during the day, and it was just all volcano gray, with the exception of a couple of spots. And they were hard to hit because they were so short-lived. There's one of them, and that is from 9:12 a.m. You see the grayish plume up above the cloud layers, and that is kind of what we had. Going back a little bit earlier, I think it was all in the gray. Yep. And that's about the only really good one we've got. There's a couple other little ones that we've seen where it was pluming out just above the clouds. So not a heck of a lot. About 5 minutes and... Oh, okay. Hang on, I gotta have a sip of something here. Pepsi will cure everything. There. And the aftershocks for about a week. Oh, that's a lot of aftershocks. Anyway, that is going back to present time, 1924 on their clock. And we see it continuing to bubble there at Fuego in Guatemala. The other volcanoes, of course, we don't see a heck of a lot on this picture. This is Momotombo, and it's very dark, so we're not going to worry about that. Let's move on to the next one, and there you have the caldera shot of Masaya volcano, also in Nicaragua, same country as Momotombo, and we see the deep abyss of the caldera there. That is actually quite a ways down. You wouldn't want to fall in there. So that is it for there. Let's pop over real quick and have a look at Merapi and see if we can find anything on Merapi. Merapi, of course, goes in and out of the clouds as well, and it continues to do its thing. I still did not see, because they were saying yesterday about a possibility of a dome collapse, or the caldera collapsing a little bit. We didn't see any of that, unfortunately. So I don't think any of it happened. It was a possibility, but nothing came to fruition, and we only see some spots where, yes, it was erupting and continuing to erupt in the same fashion that it has for a long, long time. So slow and steady and doing its thing. And that, of course, was from 7:05 this morning. If we go back a little bit further, just about 6 a.m. There, a little less cloud, and we do see it's continuing to off gas up top. So obviously we do have some activity in there, and it was doing its thing. And trying to find spots here where it's visible. This one from 416, not really super visible, but we do see a little bit of light up top here. Don't know if that's actual lava lighting it up or not, but anyway, before that, it was about 7 hours ago that we could see it, and we don't see as much there. It was really fuzzy, hard to look at. And the evening time, late in their evening, about 11:36, we do see that lenticular cloud building up there as well. So that was pretty awesome. And let's see, go back a little bit further. Yeah, 11:21. Oh, actually, even back, we have a double lenticular cloud at 22:56. So about 5 minutes before 11 p.m. That's kind of a neat hat. I want a hat like that. All right, double whammy. And if we go back even more, we see even a thicker lenticular cloud. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Really ragged looking it is. And then the clouds were in there a little bit more. So that is kind of what we've got. And with that guy, let's put him back on live. And that is the present picture right now. And it is 8:27 a.m. there. We take a look now at Ruapehu in New Zealand. And it was an interesting day there. I didn't really pay too much attention to it today. I was too interested in Iceland. Anyway, looking back about an hour, we see that we can't see the volcano. And for the most part, it was hiding behind clouds. So that was earlier. That's about 6 hours ago. Rainy is the condition. And actually, not that bad a temperature, but raining. Horrible. And that is not good. So we will leave that one be and put it back on live. Maybe it'll pop out of there for later. All right, I'm going to put it back on here just so I know where I am. And let's have a look at our next one, Semeru. And unfortunately, Semeru, they are not showing the volcano. They are showing what they're doing with their construction, trying to build or rebuild the road a little bit better. And get things working there so they can pass through real quick. Anyway, let's leave that alone. We will pop over and see what our other one is, and that is our wonderful Sakurajima in Japan. And look at all those clouds. And we are having a cloudy day today, and that is what we've seen there from earlier, even 3 hours ago, and continue to hide behind the clouds. That's fairly low-level stuff coming through, and unfortunately, not a heck of a lot we can do. 5 hours ago during the night, 5:21 a.m. That's kind of what it looked like right there. Again, I'm not seeing any visible lava or any glow of any type. And picture of Fuego. Oh yeah, where did I put that? I loaded it. Let's go back there for a second. I did load that. We need to hang on, I got the Sangay picture loaded. How come Fuego didn't get loaded? That is Sangay in South America. And I just wanted to share that picture with you guys. That is a pretty cool looking volcano. Kind of same kind of shape as Semeru and Merapi, where you've got that carved out place where everything flows out. So that is pretty cool. Let me see if I can get the other picture. I thought I loaded it. Darn it. And we will find it. It is in the archives here. And where is it? I'm looking. Fuego, where'd you go? There you are. I found it. Okay. This is of Fuego. And that is a beautiful shot. And I thought we better share that with you guys. So there it is. That is Fuego. Isn't that nice? I'd love to see that in person. And that is really good. Who is going to sleep? Linda. Good night, Dr. Fox, and all. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You are very welcome. And sleep well and have lavely dreams. That would be really awesome. And again, happy birthday, Linda. Happy 29th birthday. And me, what? Dr. Fox? Oh, hang on. I'm missing something. Oh, you're going to bed too? Okay, Piggy. You have lavely dreams as well, and don't let your I was going to say bed bugs. You don't have bed bugs, they're fur balls. Don't let your fur balls bite. And be safe, Piggy, and hopefully you'll get some sleep, and hopefully no more shakers. I got a doctor in a few hours. Oh, okay. Be good and take care of yourself, Piggy. All right. Anyway, and that is a lovely Fuego, and thanks for reminding me, Sue. Otherwise, I would have forgot about that. I'll leave that back on here and continue on. And it is break time, so we will continue on with taking a look at, of course, our Semaru, and see if we can find anything else there. And in the meantime, I'm going to go take a quick break, you guys. I need to do that, otherwise I won't have a voice left. And we will turn that fancy lava back on, throw some music back on for you as well. For those good people who have not yet hit that like button, please do help us out and give it a quick bump if you're enjoying the show. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel sitting on the outside, you are more than welcome to pop in and join the chat. Piggy has gone to sleep, so no more fears of being bit or bopped. You should be all right, and it's all safe now. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification while you're there. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. And I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs from Mars 2028 and Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes. And we had a couple people take off, and Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000. Pick on Donkey Day. Pick on Donkey Day. I know what you're up to, Dr. Fox, and you've gone out and got another tin of red paint in your Pepsi can. Oh, come on. Nobody's going to tell anybody about that tin of red paint. I don't have any red paint anywhere. I don't... DJ, get rid of that. Okay, that doesn't look very good. Anyway, I don't have red paint anywhere. I promise. I really, really promise. Isn't that dry enough? That's not German. And that is not German. Anyway, there we go. Let's carry on with this. And there we go. Evidence? What evidence? A bullseye. Anyway, going back to where we need to be. Sakurajima. There we go. And of course, let's see. Ice cream boat is still there. We have one that left. The other one is still at the docks. You guys can get your ice cream real quick, but you'll have to hurry. And okay, I'm not going to get into that right now, DJ. I'm doing a show here. Got to carry on. That is what we are seeing there at Sakurajima. Very cloudy day, and of course, this is over at Aso, and Aso-san is not visible at all today either. It was a little bit earlier, but those clouds seem to have rolled in and are hitting heavy and hard as far as that rain is concerned. And we almost seen it earlier, a little bit, but I thought it would clear up, but it didn't, and that is the wall of water over there. So if you ever wonder where Iso gets all that water in the caldera, this is exactly it, and this is what we got going, and that's it. And of course we tried to show Mount Fuji, and here's the shot of Mount Fuji. It's raining over there too. And you can only see a little bit out here on the sides here of the cityscape. And earlier, of course, it was horrible weather. And even if we go back a couple of hours, you couldn't see a darn thing. It was just that wonderful volcano gray kind of color, and I'll leave that be. I wanted to see, all was not working earlier. So I'm just going to take a quick peek and see if they are transmitting now. If they are, we'll show it. If not, we will carry on. And we are going to carry on. They are not showing at all. And that is over at our wonderful Yellowstone National Park. And again, I'm kind of looking at that glow in the background, and that is weird. Where are we here? This in the background here. I didn't see that glow before. I wonder what that is about. Anyway, we do see our empty parking lot covered in snow, and that is what we've got going on there. It does look like it's windy. The trees are dancing a bit. So they may have some wind coming through right now, and that is all cool, but I'm wondering about that glow back there. That is odd and weird. I've never seen that before, so maybe it's a super volcano coming to life. You never know. Anyway, let's leave that be. Let's go to Hawaii, and we'll have a quick look at Hawaii and see what's happening. And there is Kilauea, or well, the caldera of Kilauea, and that is in the caldera. That's the lava pond. We do see the tow area over here, but not very well. A little bit of lava in there, but we do see some bright spots in here. Of course, what happens is the lava tube feeds the lava in from this end, and it moves in whichever way it goes in properly here, and then of course it has to drain out somewhere, and usually these brighter areas that you see is where there is a drain point underneath all that lava that's sitting in there. And what happens is the lava goes down, the gas bubbles come up, gas bubbles break this thinner crusted over material, and that is what happens. And that's all we can show there. Let's go to a daytime shot of this and see what it looks like right now. That was from 1:51 a.m. This is from current time. And again, you see how low that lava level is. Wow, that's even lower today than it was before. So really, really low levels of lava there. And it's with a what? A narwhal. Yeah, it could be actually, Trev. It could have been. Anyway, we see how low that lava level is in here. And that is, I think, the lowest I've seen it for a long time. And hopefully we'll see some more wonderful lava pop in there soon. And as you can tell, you know, in the old days, it used to splash right over the edges here. Hence the funky patterns that we're seeing. But as of late, the levels have gone way down. And we guesstimate that is approximately 5 meters, and 5 meters being somewhere around 15, 16 feet, if not even more than that. And that is a lot of lava that has gone and drained out of the caldera. Next shot, of course, is from a distance. This was from 1:55 a.m. The primary vent is there. There's the little hornito. You can just see a bit of light, and of course the lava tube is covered. You can't see anything there, but the lava pond right there. Let's refresh that, take a look at it in the daylight hours. Again, primary vent. The hornito is right there, and we can see the lava pond, the tow area. We still see some smoke on the outside of the caldera walls, and that is always interesting to see. And I'm not sure if this is actually steam or smoke coming up on these edges as well. That's fairly high up. If it is smoking up there, that is, of course, telling us that that lava pond is bigger than we see it. So very, very cool, very interesting. Let's take a look from this side to this direction, and that is this picture. It must have been raining last night when they took that. Anyway, 1:55 a.m. for that shot. This is refreshed to now. There's Pig Island right there. Primary vent located right about here. And it's too dark to be able to see the lava tube entry point or exit point, but it is there. And the smoke is coming from the vent over where the hornito is. So not the greatest of shots, but we do see that smoke coming up on the side of the crater wall right in front here, and diminishing our picture a little bit. Thermal image from 1:44 last night or this morning. Again, a primary vent, hornito, lava pond, a tow area, and the extra spot over here, which is really looking like it's cooling off quite a bit. Gonna refresh this. We'll see what it looks like now. A little bit more visible, but not all that much. Of course, the sunlight has helped and heated it up a little bit, but less smoke as well. A primary vent right there, Hornito there, and then of course the lava pond toe area, and our diminishing spot. Our spot is going away. A quick peek, so that's it for our Kilauea caldera, and we'll go over and have a quick peek. This, of course, was from 1531 yesterday at Mauna Loa, and that is what it looked like yesterday. Let's take a look at what it is today. Mark the Shark, I will be there in 2 months. Boy, that's a long time to swim over there. Hopefully you can swim a little faster than that. Refreshing that, and there is no updated picture. Oh no, hang on, that is 1531 from today. Never mind, I was just looking at the date. I thought it still said 21, but it says 22. And there we go. That is your big caldera. That's huge. And if that ever all did an eruption at the same time, we would be in trouble. It is massive. So anyway, let's leave that be, and we'll pop over to earthquakes. And there, oh, they finally show that on the USGS map an hour and a half later after the quake. That is funny. Okay. I guess they figured they better get on the ball, otherwise everyone else is going to rib them a little too much. And yeah, they call it a 6.1 there, and that of course happened at 1808 there a time in Turkey, or is it no 1808 our time here at UTC? Never mind. That is what we see there. They've changed their time format. They used to have it on their own time, so I gotta wonder what they're doing. Anyway, let's go to Hawaii. We want to go to Hawaii. Before we get to Hawaii, though, I just wanted to point these out. Here's the Azores. Remember I said there was 2 quakes that didn't show up? Here's one of them, a 5.2 here in the Azores, and that came in at yesterday at 1908, and this one came in at 4.8 from today at, or no, 2 days ago, from 2022. And there's the Azores right in here. So that's right on the mid-Atlantic ridge where we're seeing that. And that is in response to all the other big quakes. Anyway, let's get over to Hawaii. And Hawaii is, oh, hang on, I'm not in the right spot. Let's try this one. There we go. And of course, there's your Hawaiian Islands, and you see the entire chain. Of course, most of our activity is on the Big Island, and we will take a look real quick and see what we got. Pahala area, most of these are between 26 and 37 kilometers down, so we will avoid depth. Anyway, this was at 1.6 from 10 minutes, 4 minutes after 10, and there we go. This one here, 2.4, and that was 4 minutes after 9, 35 clicks down. Next one is this one, 1.8, and that is 4:16 is the time on that. And then we have 1.6 from today at 16:23. This guy here, 2.9, and that is yesterday's at 20:02. This guy here, 1.7, 10:01 was the time for that. Then a 2.4 from 5:02 a.m. and a 2.3 from what was it, yesterday at 23:53. That's the Pahala area. So not quite as many as what we had yesterday, but they are there. And then up here on top of Mauna Loa, where who is going there? Mars 2028 or somebody? No, Mark the Shark is going there. Mark, if you get up there, take pictures and send them to us. 2.9 from 2026 yesterday there, and that is 600 meters above sea level. This one is 2.3 from today, 52 minutes after midnight, and that is 1.2 kilometers above sea level. This guy is 1.7 in magnitude, 1650 was the time on it, 1.8 kilometers above sea level. This one here, 1.9, and that is 1.9 kilometers above sea level from 1556. And then we've got this guy here, 1.9 from 511, and 11.2 kilometers below sea level. So that one is fairly deep. And over here in our what we refer to as the stress zone, that's the material lifting and not necessarily going to erupt over there, but 1.9, 5:28 a.m. and 1.2 kilometers below sea level on that guy. And again, we have no quakes over at Kilauea, and that is really weird. And it's gone quiet, you guys. Kilauea may be a thing of the past, and we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe it's just going to be dormant for a while, and we'll see. Mauna Loa soon, maybe Mars 2028. If you get up there, that'll be cool. Anyway, there we're going to zoom out, and we are going to go around the planet and have a look at some of the other quakes that have been happening. And of course, we already looked at the latest one there in Turkey, and the USGS is calling it a 6.1. It was a 6.0 on the other map, but nonetheless, it is there doing its thing. Let's start out here in North America. We do have up in the Aleutian Islands, we do have a 4.6 there, and that was from 2027 yesterday, 23.4 kilometers down. And then we've got down here on the Mexican Baja of California, we have two quakes, a 6.2, and no tsunamis. I checked that earlier, 9:39 a.m. for that guy. And then he had a buddy not too far and away, and that was 4.5, and that is from 1400 or 2 p.m., 10 kilometers down for that. And this is in a Mexican area. Now, I want to add a couple things. This quake over here, this is not the San Andreas. This is the Imperial fault. Not the San Andreas fault. The Imperial fault starts just below the lake here. The San Andreas fault stops right where these two quakes are together. So that is what we're saying. Actually, I was saying we might be seeing an eruption at Mauna Loa soon. I'm definitely not going anywhere at least until the end of the semester. Okay, Mars 2028. What? No field trips? That would be cool. Anyway, that is the San Andreas stops here, and then the Imperial fault starts there. So if there is some movement, that could definitely be part of this. Now, I want to mention something here that is kind of weirdish sounding, but way back when, there was extra meat on here, and this had broken off and ended up sliding up the coast, and kept on going up and up and up, and is sitting in here. And when you hear somebody mention the words Baja, British Columbia, that is what it's referring to. Some of that way back when, the material that was sitting along the Baja here, this used to be a lot bigger, is now up here in British Columbia and southern British Columbia and northern Washington area, just so you're aware of that. So pretty cool stuff to see. Anyway, sliding down a little bit more, we see some other quakes here. 4.5, 2217 was the time on it, from 53.9 kilometers down, and that is in Peru. Then we've got this one here, 4.1 in Chile, 1515 is the time on it, 33 kilometers down for him. That one is in Argentina, 4.2, 148.6 kilometers down from yesterday, 1911. And let's take a look. We've got South Sandwich Islands, 5.4, 1413 was the time on it. Zooming into New Zealand here, we don't see anything on New Zealand itself, no new ones anyway. We have a little cluster right here, and this is Kermadec Ridge or Kermadec Island region, 5.2 from 503, 10 kilometers down for that one. 4.9, and that is from 1614, 10 kilometers down. And the third one there, another 4.9 from 4:25 a.m., 14.6 kilometers down. Sliding over a little bit closer to Fiji and Tonga, we see this guy, 5.0, they're calling it Fiji. That is from 2020 yesterday, 549.7 kilometers down, a long ways down. We see over here in Vanuatu, we see a 5.1, 2300 was the time on it yesterday. And then, of course, we've got this massive stack over here in the Solomon Island area here, I guess. A 6.0 is one of them. We had a 7. That was 7.2 yesterday, downgraded to a 7, but still, that is just tremendous. And then we've got more 5.1s from yesterday, 1958 for that guy. This guy is today at 3:44 a.m., 4.7. This straggler out here, 4.9 today at 5:49, 12.4 kilometers down. Getting these ones on the outside here. This is a 5.3 from 1:50 a.m., 10 clicks down. 5.1 at 23:09 yesterday. 4.7 at 20:32, 10 clicks down, and the list goes on. There's a bunch of them here. Not going to go through all of them, otherwise we'll be here all week. And let's take a look at the next area, and this is Banda Sea area almost, but that is a 5.1, 924 was the time on it, 70.3 kilometers down. Sliding up, we see over here near the Izu Islands for Japan, 4.6, and that was at 9:06 their time. And or our time, I don't know whose time anymore, minus 7 hours UTC, so that'll get you close. Anyway, 2.2 kilometers down for that guy. We see another one here on this little stack in the corner of the subduction zone, 4.5 kilometers down for that guy from 1349. 41.8 clicks down. Moving over a little bit more, we have a few new ones here in, I guess it would be China and Afghanistan. 4.5 from yesterday, 2135 there. This one, 4.3 from 2040, 10 kilometers down. This one, 4.2 from today, 7:39. Was the time on it at 102 kilometers down. And of course that big one in western Turkey, that piggy felt, and hopefully everything is okay for her. She is sleeping now, or trying to, and that was a pretty nasty quake, and that's 6.1 is pretty big, so good thing it's a little ways away. And 4.6, that is also down here just south of Sicily, and that's actually Malta, the island of Malta. there, and that is what we're seeing. 5:40 a.m. is the time on that. And that brings us back over here to the mid-Atlantic ridge in Iceland. And of course, the USGS won't show us anything from Iceland, unfortunately, but that is the way they do their things. Anyway, I've gone over and I see it is a break time or beyond break time already. Nobody's talked here, so I couldn't see the clock. Just going to punch something in. Yep, 5 minutes over. And that is what we've got. I'm going to take a break, you guys. I need to do that. My throat is starting to get sore. So for those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. We're still trying to target over that 100 mark. Would really be awesome. And also, if you're sitting on the outside and new people, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to take a break for a few minutes. I'm going to use my unfreeze spray on this volcano and let it move. There we go. Love that. I like having that power. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. It is a break time. Keep smiling, be good, and I'll be back. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. And yep, last chance as he's heading out the door. It is Pick on Donkey Day today, you know. And good night to Trevor. And run! Get those hooves going. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes and Sasha, and probably I hear you. Oh, much love and aloha, Mark the Shark, and I hope you can swim to Hawaii faster than that. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Awesome, that is cool. Okay, let's leave our lava be, and we'll get over to the Canary Islands. We wanted to see what's going on over there. And what I will be I will be hung a donkey the next day. Oh, be a hung donkey? Don't be a hung donkey. Anyway, let's I refreshed it here. Let's zoom in and see what we actually have for today. And looking at what we see, we do have a few quakes. 1.6 from 3:56 a.m., 8 kilometers down. And then we have this 1.5 from 7:32, 16 kilometers down, and that is way on the other side of the island. You see that one now way over here, and that is pretty cool. We have a 0.7, that's 2 kilometers down. That could be right underneath Cumbre Viejas area there, where things may still be settling and collapsing, so that one is not unexpected. It's kind of there. And then we've got some really fresh ones since we are in the future. They are already a 1.5 from 44 minutes after their midnight hour, 21 kilometers down underneath that same area, but fairly deep, 21 kilometers down. That would be kind of halfway between the upper and the lower playground zone. We'll see what happens if we continue to see more earthquakes there. Anyway, a 0.9, and that is 56 minutes after their midnight hour, 10 kilometers down on that guy. That's where the star is flashing. That's what we've got cooking there, and that's all for La Palma. So some new ones, and nice to see that we do have some activity there, but nothing too serious. And of course, this other one being on the quake being on the Baja of Mexico, well, Baja of California in Mexico, and just wanted to make sure we all understand that. I'm going to refresh this though. We want to get a new fresh map just in case, and we will take a quick look here and see what we've got, if anything new at all. And I don't think we see any new volcanoes. We still see our 2 in Iceland. We have our 2 here in the Azores, Michael Volcano, Cell Sandwich Islands, and looking at what do we got here? We got our 3 down on the bottom. Yep, Sangay right there. And did I not have a picture of the Sangay? Yeah, I did. Oh, never mind. And there's the other Sangay. This is not that Sangay. This one is, hang on. I gotta zoom in now. I gotta remember that 7 Kaya. There we go. I got it. And as we go up, of course, we see a Sangay there doing its eruptive activity. And this Cotopaxi has been relatively quiet. It's passed its rains onto Sangay. Reventador is still acting up. Cerro Negro is still quiet, and same with Percy. And then, of course, Navedo del Ruz still not being very active. No changes here in our Central American stuff. Popocatépetl is still there. Fuego is still blowing its top on a regular basis. I gotta love it. And that's where that little bunch of quakes was. We see actually now there's a bunch of them there as well, 4.5 And then we, let's see if we get that over there, 4.0, and we got to 6.2. I need to be a little closer to get the other one out of there. 4.0 and a 4.0. We got two 4s and 4.5 in addition to the 6.2 that is there, and that's off the Baja. So all that broken off stuff, and that of course is sitting up here, and then it's called Baja, British Columbia, for those who need to know. And of course, looking down here in our area of New Zealand, we see Taupo and White Isle volcano still there, Tofua and Home Reef not doing anything more, hoping that we'll see some more action out of those. And of course, here's that big stack that we have in our wonderful Samoan Islands, and that is what we see, Solomon Islands, I should say. And one of the things that I was thinking about here, the reason we didn't actually see any tsunamis from that is because it's right behind the island, and the only place that would have gone for the most part is here, you know, so we would have maybe seen a little bit of a tsunami hit the shores of Australia, but not too much around here for the most part from what we see. Anyway, carrying on, Luolatak still there, Semeru, Marapi, and Krakatau, and Ibu and Dakono still working hard. Taal volcano still on the orange side of things, and we still haven't heard anything more from Hawaii there in the Mariana Islands. So that'll be interesting. And Nishimoshima is still working away. And of course, we got Suwanoshijima and Sakurajima there as well, doing their thing. And of course, our stuff in the Kamchatka Peninsula, all still the same thing with the Aleutian Islands, and nothing has really changed. Zipping down real quick, we want to make sure Erebus is still there. Yep, it didn't. Nobody stole it. They didn't get all the gold. Sub-volcanoes. Yep, sub-volcanoes. We got lots of those. Heard Island volcano is not a sub-volcano though. It is there. That's what the submarine is for. We can check out the underwater ones. Piton de la Formes volcano in Reunion Island still doing its thing. And our two here in DR Congo. And of course, Old Doño is still doing its stuff. And then of course we've got Urta Ale. And we zoom in a little bit more here. We see another quake there, and that Malta quake, and I don't know if that would have affected Etna any, but Etna is right there, Volcano Stromboli, and Campi up here. And that's it for our volcanoes. And for those who aren't familiar with this map, these are what we consider active. If you want to see all the volcanoes, it looks like that. All those green ones are all potential volcanoes to erupt, and they are all over the planet, and lots of them. The black ones are considered old and dead duds. They ain't gonna do nothing anymore. And there's obviously older ones that should be marked too, up here in Russia and so on, and even in Canada, but we don't worry about those. And speaking of Canada, for those people who think Canada is without volcanoes, we move up here, Squamish volcano, Meager volcano, and we got Silver Throne volcano, Sata volcano, and what was it, Nazca volcano, Wells Gray, Clearwater volcano, and the list goes on. So Even here in Canada, we do have a bunch of those volcanoes, and I'll leave that be. Going to put this back to normal, and I'll leave that alone. And there's our volcano map. We'll pop over and have a quick peek at our SO2 readings from around the world then, and we'll get that refreshed really quick. And let's refresh it and get up to our current time. Oh, it looks like we got a snowflake coming on Friday, and maybe some rain. Anyway, SO2 doing its thing, and pardon me. Actually, before we get to the SO2, I wanted to point out something. And I'm going to zoom out on this, and it doesn't matter if I refresh this or not, but I just want to point something out. I want you guys to look at this pattern. You see this, how this is from here, it's coming out and going all the way over here. And it's pushing upward and pushing downward for the most part. This is La Nina. La Nina is fully formed, and La Nina is what we normally have. That's the normal type of weather in this area. When we get El Nino is the opposite way around. We see the triangle that we see here. It's actually reversed. It's coming from here, going into this area. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. So we are in the La Nina time. In other words, weather is going to be cold. Anyway, looking at North America, Canada, not all that bad as far as SO2 today. We do see the stuff coming across from Russia onto the Aleutian Islands. And then we pop over and look at the bottom end here of Ontario and so on, and we see that that's fairly heavy there. But once we get out into the eastern provinces, not bad. And we've got that big circulation here in Quebec and Newfoundland, Labrador area doing its thing, trying to clean the air, and then looking at the U.S. A little bit heavier than normal. We do see this plume coming out here. This is really odd, but hey, it's all with the way the wind currents are right now, and changing things around again. We do see some of it coming into the Pacific from Central America, but also the stuff from Popocatépetl and of course, Mexico City, flowing into the Gulf of Mexico. So pretty cool that way. And Reventator and those guys are being pushed inland today. So that is going into the rainforest areas. We don't see anything coming off of the Galapagos, which is really good. And then, of course, over here we will have our other, oh, that's not what we wanted to hit. We need the other camera. There's another camera here somewhere, or there used to be. There it is. Hopefully that's the right one. And the 7 Kaya. Yeah, not seeing anything from that. Let's see what it was like during the day. Oh, they were right zoomed in on the tip of it. And you can only see the top. It was pluming a little bit, so pretty cool. You're gonna go watch the Falcon 9 launch. Well, that's the beauty of the internet. You can always watch it afterwards. Well, I will be afterwards. I have no choice. Anyway, that is what we've got here. And how long before the launch? Mars 2028. And Eddie Otoro, good to see you. And you'll be lurking, no worries. We see the stuff from Chile coming out into the Pacific a little bit, but still some of it trying to bleed back into the continent and go the other way. And Rusty Bolts, welcome, good to see you. Sliding over into New Zealand, White Isle Volcano still doing its thing. Leo's Barbecue is not on today. And of course, we see here that the coking plants still going strong north of Sydney. Tofua here in Tonga still off-gassing pretty good. And then Aoba is still working hard to make that. And this is from Yasur. And sliding up a little bit, we see what's happening in Papua New Guinea, pretty normal looking. Luolatok still working away, doing its thing. And then, of course, Semeru, Merapi, and then on the end here we'll have Krakatau. But Jakarta is putting out a lot of SO2 as well, helping that whole area fill up. Ibu and Dakono still working away. And then over here we've got Taal Volcano, as well as Mayon and Bulusan still doing their thing. What was the, I can't remember this one. Nishimoshima, that's it. Nishimoshima, I had to think about that. That's a hard name to say. Anyway, it's doing its thing. And then, of course, down here we definitely have our wonderful Suwanosi Jima doing its thing. And then over here is, of course, where we see the remnants of Sakura Jima doing its thing, sliding up a little bit. The Kamchatka Peninsula not looking as bad, not as heavy of SO2 coming out of those areas, quite bad in China right now. Looking at India, regular spots going on there. Same thing with South Africa, pluming into the Indian Ocean down at the south here. We'll see if it builds up any. And of course, DR Congo, 2 volcanoes and a bunch of coking plants making that wonderful plume. And not able to see anything much of Urta Ale, which would be right about here. These other spots, of course, are oil refineries in these countries. So Iraq, Kuwait, and then, of course, Saudi Arabia and Iran, they all have refineries, and not as much SO2 coming from Mount Etna. And we see the wind is moving across there quite heavily. And there we go for that. Looking at the northern portions of Europe, we see Poland and Belarus, those areas are really, really heavy, and some of that is drifting up into Sweden. Looking at Iceland real fast, we don't see anything on there. And that is it for SO2, and I do need to take another break, otherwise my voice is going to go away, and we can't afford that. So we'll refresh this guy right now. And I'm going to go and take a 5-minute break, you guys. So hang in there. We'll put you back on some canned lava. And we'll get that guy rolling for you. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet, hit that like button. Help us out. We're still trying to get up to that 100 mark or over it. And, of course, we got 23 people left. A lot of you will always already have done your thing there, so all good. I'm fashionably late. Duchess of Elements, welcome. I'm going to be taking a break right now, and you can enjoy the lovely footage there from the archives from Siggy Fisher. On that friendly note, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go away, guys. All right, I've got that microphone back on, and welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and we're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes, and of course Sasha and Duchess of Elements. And yep, actually, this is a Siggy Fisher, is what we call this one, Duchess. But yep, same thing, all part of the Fregadelfjall complex. And you're absolutely right, it did not last very long. Actually, what is surprising about this Siggy Fisher was that it only had about 12% of the magma that was able to be held in that magma chamber, and of course it quit after a little while, and you know, it died out. There was still a lot of magma left that could have been ejected, but it didn't bother. So one of those things. Anyway, let's park that, and we will leave that alone. For right now. I'm going to use my magic freeze spray that I got from Star Trek, and we'll stop it right in mid-tracks. There we go. And that is all cool. Getting back over to our weather map. I did refresh it, and we'll have a look there. And that is all awesome. I see one bunny eating right now, for those who need to know. And we will get over there. Dr. Fox, do you know if Ragnar is still off-gassing? No, I don't know if it is still off-gassing. I don't think it is. I haven't heard any reports or seen anything, and nobody has mentioned it. The latest videos that I've watched, it's been very quiet and dormant. And let's get on to the weather here. So North America looking pretty cool for the most part, and we do see the cold temperatures all the way down into the bottom of the US. But let's see what we've got. Alaska doing not bad actually for this time of year. Same thing with the Yukon and Northwest Territories. But once we get over to Nunavut, as I always say, I want none of it because it is cold there. Prairie provinces and British Columbia, well, BC are getting a little bit warmer on the coast, which is all right. But the interior of BC actually does look like it warmed up a bit. Alberta definitely a lot warmer today. Edmonton still holding in at about 2 degrees or so. I don't know why this one is saying 3. It's a little cooler here. Mine on the computer says 0, but hey, that's what it is. And Saskatchewan, kind of a mixed bag. Some cold, some warm, and we see that wonderful warmer air blowing in, though. That is nice to see. And once we get out to Manitoba, it starts to get cool again, and northern Ontario not doing so well. Likely more stuff around the Great Lakes. We'll take a look at that once we get over there. Anyway, northern portions of Quebec getting all the way over here into Labrador, Newfoundland area. Definitely a lot cooler. Down on the bottom, Sharon Stewart says, I hear you. Okay, good. I hope your weather is okay. Cole Harbour, we'll get there in a second. Cole Harbour looks cold today, -1, brr. Bottom end of Ontario is not so warm either, and they will likely be waiting or trying to shovel out of the remaining of amounts of that snow. Not sure if you got any snow. Sue, did you get any snow out there yet out there in Nova Scotia? I heard they got a bit up here in New Brunswick, but I didn't hear anything about Nova Scotia or PEI. No snow, okay. And then, of course, Newfoundland there, sliding over on the other side of the continent and looking at the western side of the United States. A little bit warmer today than it has been in the last couple of days. Portland coming in at about 6, 7, 8 degrees right now, so that's not so bad. And Sacramento 11 right now. San Jose is about 12. LA coming in at about 14, 15, depending on where you are. Death Valley should be somewhere around 13, 14 degrees. There it is, and thank you, Sue. And that is, yeah, bring a jacket, otherwise you're going to freeze to death. Death Valley. Anyway, bad name for in the wintertime. That is 13 is t-shirt weather for us Canadians. Anyway, 14 in Mexicali, and we see 14 there in Phoenix as well. 15 in Tucson. I definitely see the cut line here. Everything above that is a lot colder, and we see that all the way into New Mexico, and we're seeing in Colorado, Utah, as we move upward, and Idaho, as well as starts with W, come on, think of it, Wyoming, there we go, and in Montana a little bit, and then sliding over a little bit further here into Texas. They are warming up a bit today, not quite as chilly as what they were, but that is all right. 12 in Houston, San Antonio 11, Austin 11, Dallas up here at 9, and a bit better in Oklahoma as well. And looking at, central areas here, the breadbasket, it's basically doing its thing. It is that season, right? So still quite cool down here. New Orleans a little bit warmer at 13, 14, but we see Mississippi, Louisiana areas, good chunks are very cold. Alabama, half of it is really cold. Same thing with the northern portions of Georgia, but we are seeing some warmth down on the panhandle here again, which is really nice. And we're seeing 24, 25 in the bottom end of Florida, so not bad. Going up into South Carolina, we do see lower temperatures, but still low teens as far as the Celsius scale. And looks like Grandma B's house there is going to be a little bit on the cold side, coming in at just below, I'd say about 48 degrees, 47 degrees Fahrenheit with that. And as we continue up, we see about 4 degrees there in New York. Boston coming in at a chilly 1 degree Celsius, or about 33 Fahrenheit. Mexico not looking too bad. Still fairly cool though, for the most part. We still see that nasty circulation there, and it moving right across Mexico into the Pacific from the Gulf of Mexico over. So interesting. Anyway, looking at 26 there in Cancun, moving down through Central America. Another circulation right here in the corner by Colombia and Panama. So very interesting to see that. The Amazon, reasonable temperatures, not going to spend too much time on that right now. Sliding down into Argentina, we see some warm areas, but a little bit of that cold drifting through from Chile, and not too bad temps there. And why is that thing telling me I'm not sending out good somethings? Error, not received enough video to maintain. What do you mean you're not receiving enough video? Oh, I see. Bit rates are going up and down like a yo-yo. You may be experiencing some buffering, if that is the case. Yep. We've got buffering here, yo-yo effect on the stuff. I don't know what's going on. It seems to be back to just about stable. No, it's going up and down again. Not sure what's going on. Hopefully it'll hang in there. Anyway, Buenos Aires 16 today, sliding up a little bit more. We see starting to warm up in Rio de Janeiro, and yeah, I don't know what is going on all of a sudden that we've got buffering, and that is kind of weird. The bit rates just dropped right down. It's almost like somebody is playing with the connections. It should be better now though. The notification is gone, so hopefully you should be able to see me, or well, see the screen and hear it without any issues. Let's zoom in on New Zealand. We good? Okay, that is good. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it does that once in a while. Anyway, we see this low still bringing that cold air up from down south, and that's hitting the western side of New Zealand's South Island, and the eastern side here. A little bit better temps. North Island not bearing too much warmth today either. 19 about the highest temp that we see out there. Hopefully that'll warm up for them. And we see here in Tasmania, Hobart coming in at 15. They do have some warmer spots, but nothing really super warm to talk about. Looking at Melbourne, 16 degrees Celsius there. Adelaide coming in at about 16, and the hot spot's going to be Perth at 22. No, maybe there's hotter stuff out there. Sliding up on the other side, we do see Sydney at 26, Brisbane coming in at 25. And just sliding through here, and we definitely see some 41 degree temperatures up in the northern portions of Australia, so they've got some warmth there. And looking at the rest of everything in Indonesia and Malaysia, Philippine areas, probably quite hot there. 30, 31 in Bangkok today. And that would be pretty nasty if that is it. Probably high humidity, 68%. Thank you, Sue. 30 degrees, and that's plenty warm. Manila coming in at about 32, even hotter there. So pretty awesome. And looks like some colder temperatures coming out of the Yellow Sea into this area, and of course. That doesn't help Japan all that much, although we see down on the bottom end they are reaching 22 degrees on the very bottom, and then just below Tokyo here is where it goes for a dip into the single digits, going all the way up, and then once we get up into Kamchatka, we see a nasty low up there, pulling down all that cold air, freezing our volcanoes. And here's a cold spot, of course, just hiding in the Himalayas, and that is all right. Pretty normal there. Looks like it's starting to warm up in the bottom end of India again, and then of course South Africa, Cape Town coming in at 16, pretty normal. And we see some colder temperatures in some of these places. But for the most part, reasonable in Africa. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Looking at what we've got here for Turkey, where they had the earthquake, 5-6 degrees, and we look at eastern Turkey. They're down at the -1, -2 mark. Piggy's home will be somewhere around 19-20 degrees. Looking at what we've got, we see that warmer stuff coming up and hitting Crete, and keeping them a little bit warmer. The south side a lot warmer. And then when we look at what we're seeing here, single digits in our wonderful Sicily, and 2-3 degrees up on Mount Etna. We're likely going to see some more snow up there, and coastal areas, of course, a little bit warmer than that. Milano only at 2-3 degrees as well, and a new Irish Monkland, Sardinia, looking a lot better today tonight for nighttime temperatures. That is a whole bunch more reasonable than what they had yesterday. And looking at what Spain is doing, not too bad. I did talk with Aurelio today, and he said it was nice, and I guess that is kind of good. We see just a few areas there a little cooler, and then we get up into France, the right around the ocean areas here. We're looking at warmer temps, but as soon as you get inland, it starts to cool off. Munich coming in at 3, Berlin coming in at 1, Hamburg at 3, and Cologne at 8. Brussels coming in at 7, Amsterdam about 7, and not bad looking there. Sliding up a little bit more, just checking Copenhagen, 6 degrees Celsius. It's warmer than I thought it'd be. And of course Oslo 0, Stockholm 1, and St. Petersburg over here -3. I don't want to look at that. Let's look at England real quick, and Irish Monk land, and they've got that warmer air pushing up in between the 2 islands here, so pretty cool. And single digits for the most part in England till you get up into Scotland. Then it gets right down to the freezing mark. A lot warmer over in Ireland, and Doolin, Ireland, getting about 8 degrees right now, roughly. So that is pretty good there. Sliding up to Iceland, and Iceland is getting a cold air bombarding it from the north, and that is going to cool things off. Looking at 1 or 2 degrees in Reykjavik. Not a good time to go take a look at volcanoes, and about 1 degree out there where Ragnar and Siggy is, so that is not good. Let's zoom back out. We're going to have a real quick peek at precipitation. We see the nasty stuff on the British Columbia coast, and this material moving in and through into Alberta. And hopefully that won't get us too bad. Looks like ice rain coming for Edmonton if it continues, and some ice rain just beyond that. And sliding over, we don't see any other snow in the prairies till we get over here into Manitoba. That's not really prairie area, but Manitoba, Northern Ontario getting a bunch of snow. More lake effect snow here, though, Sudbury and those areas are getting nailed. Looks like places like Buffalo and Toronto and the bottom end of Ontario is getting a little bit of a reprieve, but this area is still getting some snow. And no snow out here in Nova Scotia. Very little. I think some of this brushed along here before, but New Brunswick and not seeing any. We do see some out here in Newfoundland, so they are getting a little bit there as well. And here we see stormy stuff just off the coast of Florida, and of course that is heading inward. Hopefully their launch will be okay without that. Let's see what else we got. Here's that low in the Yucatan Peninsula area, and that, as we've seen it twirling around, it's doing its thing. We don't see anything much here in the western portions of the U.S. till you get up into Washington, and even into Oregon a little bit of some freezing rain. So Spokane getting nailed, and then a little bit in Idaho and here in the Rockies. Let's slide down to Central America. We see storms. Of course, those different circulations causing different issues. And then we see our rainforest areas, and Brazil getting some rain. Go figure. And south and down here of Chile getting nailed again, or still. And sliding all the way over, looking at what we suspected here, that low, bringing in that cooler air, and it's mixing with the warmer air, and poof, you have this thing called rain. And that's what we see on the western side, really bad. But the eastern side is getting a little bit of rain, but not as bad. On the South Island, North Island, a couple of spots of rain, but not that bad. Looking at Melbourne, no wonder Leo's not using his barbecue. He had to go to work. And might as well work on a rainy day, hey? And looks like Tasmania pretty dry today. And then the high sitting there in the middle of Australia, and that has got some rain coming down there. The rest of Australia looks pretty good. Not seeing too much there in the Indonesian area, Malaysian area, and so on. We do see this circulation here. There's another one building here, and of course this one that's sitting just out here. And this is going to twirl around and do its thing, so I'll probably get into Bangkok as well. And looking at what we've got, there's another low there. There would be another low in here somewhere. I see there it is. So that's drawing the stuff in. Looking at Japan, yep, they're going to get nailed. That's low, and that's all the way across. It's almost like multiple lows in here, and we see it all the way from the Sea of Japan all the way out here on the other side of into the Pacific. And Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia, definitely getting some snowflakes. Let's go down, have a quick peek down here in Madagascar. Not bad. Same thing with the southern portions of Africa, and yeah, it should be raining there a little bit. Drier, of course, in the desert here, Sahara Desert, not bad. And I hate to tell Piggy, but she's going to get some more rain and costs. And it is probably raining there right now. And looking at that, we do see this system coming through, and that is dumping a lot of water. And there's more to come after that, and that is also hitting Sicily and Italy. Here's a nasty low sitting up in here. That is making this all go around. So they're getting some storms. Northern portions of Portugal and Spain getting stormed out as well. Same thing with the southern end of France. Hopefully not too bad. And looking at Germany first, we don't see too much rain there. Same thing with Belgium and Holland, and Luxembourg looks dry. Not too much here in Denmark. We do see Copenhagen likely some rain, and a little bit up on the tip. And let's just take a look at Norway and Sweden. They are getting a bunch of snow in those areas. But now looking at what we've got, the warmer temperatures in Ireland, of course, are being subdued by the amount of rain that's coming down. And I'm sure this flow that's going up here is going to make sure that it widens out a little bit and gets some more yucky precipitation into those other areas. Here's that other stream that is kind of feeding into Iceland and giving them a bunch of snow. So hopefully it will dissipate a little bit. This low has got to go over anyway, and we'll see what happens in the near future. There's a second low, so we're going to end up with 3 lows sitting here again, and that is bad weather for those guys. So let's take a look and see if we can find our coldest temperature on the map for today. And we'll go from there. Yeah, what Sue, Intrepid Cold Searcher. The Intrepid Cold Searcher, is that official name now? I see a minus 52 already, and let's see, there's a 52, and do we have anything colder than a minus 52? And no, I'm thinking a minus 52 is going to be a rock bottom here today. No, don't see anything else. No, I'm going to live with minus 52, and we'll see what Sue got. Sue got minus 52. All right, well, It's another tie going for the cold. That's it, Sharon Stewart. It's her a new moniker. Yeah, there you go. And well, she can have the moniker and the cold and the penguins, and as much as all right. Hang on, I only got minus 51. Hang on, there. Okay, Sue can go down and feed the penguins. You didn't see me move that. That's always been on minus 48, right? I'm kidding. It's a tie, so that's all good, you guys. And yeah, I guess we're going down to feed the penguins together. Okay, Sue, on that friendly note, that's it. And we will leave it be. And I'm going to throw this back up on our canned lava, and we'll wrap things up for today. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And that is awesome. And do appreciate having everyone here. And just want to say a big thank you to Piggy for her 2 super chats, and to Sharon Stewart for gifting the 5 membership pack. That was awesome. And on that friendly note, we're going to look at wrapping this up. So be good, be kind, and be careful, everyone. And please, most of all, actually, hang on, I'm going too fast already. Thank you, moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, Gary, 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, and the other moderators that may have been in the background. Thank you. We do appreciate you guys, so I want to make sure I mention you. And of course, thank you everyone for being here. Looks like I'm about to get rained on. Rusty bolts, that is possible. It is very possible. Anyway, on that friendly note, it is time for me to finish this off. My voice is done, so be good, be kind, and be careful, everyone, and take care of yourselves. And most of all, of course, tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll see everyone tomorrow night. Take care, everyone. Oink, oink.